This is Online GED Teacher, and in this video you are going to hear a clip of a typical office hours section. Please make sure you have enough time. The clip is about 18 minutes, but if you really want to get a good idea of what happens in office hours and whether or not something like this would benefit you, you'll want to listen in.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So Fatima, you're first. Go ahead.
Okay. And I can ask you any questions, no, don't matter what lesson?
Yeah, any lesson.
So I was working on lesson 4, which is exponent and polynomial, whatever the word.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
And on number 4, very last page. Give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. I thought I was ready here.
No, that's okay.
I guess my question would be kind of general.
Uh-huh.
I understand how to do the problem, that I have to put the likes together. And do I do the likes first and add those and then divide, or I have to make it smaller so I can divide it into the 3 square? Is that the process, correct?
Yeah, so let me pull up here so I could be looking specifically at what you're looking at. So give me a second. Okay, so let me go into the course here. So you're saying lesson 4.
Lesson 4, it's the very last page. I thought it had before the rectangle and the triangle.
Okay. All right, so we're going to go to the last page. Okay. So just give me a second. It's just moving a little bit slow.
You're fine. It's previous.
So you're talking
page
number 4? Oh, the previous page?
Yeah, before that one. See number 4
Okay.
right there.
Yeah. Okay, I'm with you now. So, so this is one of these ones that we are simplifying. Okay. And so I think I understand what you're saying now. So let me rewrite it on the board. So we're going to have 54z plus 3y squared plus 27yz minus 12y squared minus 18 all over 3 squared. Okay. So as you said correctly, Fatima, we want to identify the things that are alike. So this one and this one are alike because they both have y squared. This one is by itself because there's nothing like it. This one is by itself because there's nothing like it. So the only 2 things that you're going to be combining is this one right here and this one right here. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, because the other ones are already. So so what we're going to do is we're going to bring that 54z down because there's nothing to combine it with. Then we're going to add that 27y z. So we've taken care of that one. We've taken care of that one. Then we're going to do minus 18. And then we'll do this one last. So a positive 3y squared minus a 12y squared is going to give us a minus 9y squared.
Can I stop you there for 1 sec?
Yes.
Okay, you picked, you said get a 9.
Uh-huh.
um, then the other negative is 18. And so when I have an 18 negative, since it's the big number, my next number should be -9, or
No,
shouldn't be
so
positive.
yeah, so those two numbers don't have anything to do with each other because this is just right here, this is just plain 18. And then this right
Oh,
here is
yes,
9y squared. So they can't combine because they're different. And so all I did
I
was
understand.
just, yeah, so I just brought down that 54, and then I just brought down that 27, and I just brought that down because
But
they didn't have anything to combine with. And then, so what you would do is divide the 9 through. So 9 goes into 54, that would be 6z. 9 goes into 27 three times, so that would be 3yz. Minus 9 goes into 18 two times. And then 9 goes into 9y squared once, so a minus y squared. So that's 9 being divided into that, 9 being divided into that, 9 being divided into that, and 9 being divided into that. And then these are the resultings. So 54 divided by 9 is 6z. 27 divided by 9 is 3yz. Minus 18 divided by 9 is -2. And then 9 goes into -9, a -9, a minus 1y squared. So we don't put the 1, so it just stays y squared.
right, right.
Make
Now
sense?
I know. Yes, it makes sense. On this problem, when they put it in word problem, is it always expected to be in triangle or rectangle or something like that? Not just like a problem?
Say again now.
So are these going to be like word problems for me to put the 54c plus 3y2 square? Or is it
Oh
usually
no, yeah,
in with the shape?
that won't. Yeah, that won't be a word problem. It'll usually just be a numerical problem like this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, so you
'Cause
won't, the only time you'll see a word problem being translated to something like this is usually if it's solving for X. But in this case, you're not solving, you're just dividing and simplifying.
got it.
Yeah, because in this case, you're not finding the value of Z or Y or YZ, you're just simply simplifying it down. Anybody else have a question? So if you have a question, you can just put it in the chat window.
I have more questions. I
Yeah,
hope I'm
please
not
go ahead.
taking advantage. Okay.
No,
Uh,
please.
on the slope and rise and overrun,
Huh?
I have all the samples that you did and the exercise that you did, but I keep getting them wrong. I understand in one, the formula is y equal mx plus b. And I think
Right.
I'm not connecting the formula with the points. Can you help me with that?
Yes.
And I do
So let me go
understand the
back.
formula. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
The formula on the m equals y2 negative y1. Is it okay for me to immediately to think that the y2 and y1 are in the top of the graphic?
Not necessarily. So I'm pulling up that worksheet now, and we'll take a look at some examples. So you're talking about two different things. One is you're talking about the slope, okay?
Correct.
And so let's do the slope. Let's do the slope first, because then that'll kind of help to explain the y
Oh, so
equals
they don't,
mx plus b a little.
they're not connected then. Okay.
No, no, they are connected, but they're different. They're different parts of that slope intercept form. So give me 1 second here. Sorry, my internet is a little bit slow tonight.
It's all those earthquakes that you guys been having.
I know, I know. Something always going on in California. All right. So do you mean like something like this, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So let's
I
do an
try to.
example. So let's do an example, and I'm going to kind of have you walk me through it. So let me pull up a
Yes.
whiteboard here. All right. So go ahead.
So 6y equals 3x plus 18. So I immediately think that I have to use the formula where equals m equals, oh, where did my formula went? Mx plus b.
Okay. Yep. So that's what this is. So this is, you get a different color. So this is y equals mx plus b. So you got that right.
Okay.
But
So
now let
I
me show
think,
you something.
oh,
No, go
okay,
ahead.
okay, okay. No, I was gonna continue thinking that I know what I'm doing.
No, so what would you do next?
So I was gonna I need to have turn the 18 negative 18, or do I
Oh,
need
okay.
to start with?
I see what you're saying. Okay. So you got to
Okay.
remember, like in this case, we're not necessarily solving for x. I see what you mean. So you're thinking that you have to subtract 18 from both sides,
Yes.
but see. So here's what's different, Fatima, is that you have two variables. You have x and y. So
Right.
you can't approach it that way. So here's what you would have to do. So you want to get this, what we have here, into this form here. Okay. So we want to get
Mhm.
rid of the 6. So I'm going to divide this side by 6, and I'm going to divide this side by 6. That cancels out.
Oh.
That gives me y. And then 3 divided by 6 is 1/2. So that's 1/2 x plus 3. Okay. And then from there, that's where we're talking about graphing the equation of a line.
Why did
And
you
then that's
get
where,
1/2 on the 3 and x? Is it because
because
you're
3
adding a
divided by
1?
6, because 3
It's
divided by
2.
6
Oh,
is a
yes.
half. Yep. Yep. Okay. So now what we have to do is we have to find out what the x and y is so we can put some points here on this graph. Okay. So now what we do is we plug in a number and we just plug in 0 for x, because anything times 0 is 0. So if I put in 0 for x, that's 0. So that just leaves me 3. So when x equals 0, y equals 3. And then the next point I want to try is 2, because then that 2 will cancel out. That gives me 1. So when x is 2, that leaves me 1 plus 3. And so y equals 4. So now I have 2 points. So I can plot the first point here on the x-axis and then there on the y. So I'm going to say 0 and then up 3, 1, 2, 3. And there's that first point there. Then the next point is
Right.
2, 4. So come over here, 2 on the x-axis and go up 4. That's going to be about there. So now that's my equation of that. That's my line of that equation. You see? So
Yes,
what you
yes.
were kind of thinking about, um, you were thinking about this as you were solving for X, but you couldn't because there's two variables here. So what you have to do is you have to get this down into the slope intercept form up here. And you do that by getting rid of that 6 by doing its opposite. And then if you divide it by 6, you also divide this by 6. So that principle's still at play. But at the same time, your goal is to get back up here. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now let's try another one. So I'm gonna have you walk me through this one. Give me a second.